Let's start off with the royals. A looming crisis is emerging in the House of Windsor as the Queen's second son, the spare Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, has been handed legal papers and his lawyers have been asked to appear in New York over a historic sex assault claim against the Prince. Virginia Giuffre has accused Prince Andrew of sexual abuse on 3 occasions in London, New York and the US Virgin Islands, when she alleges she was at the age of 17 being pimped out by Jeffrey Epstein. This is not a story that's going to please the Queen, Caro, but this is something Prince Andrew has to deal with. He can't keep running from this story.
Well, he's going to try, Rita. He's still run away from trying to have these legal papers served on him. He's escaped up to his estate in Scotland, where he's held a shooting party over the weekend. Not the best look at a time when his lawyers are trying to fight this civil lawsuit in the US. But now his lawyers are trying to argue that the papers weren't served properly on him in the UK, and that's partly because he was trying to run off to Scotland. So it really will be a matter of whether they can sort out the legalities of this. I suspect it will just be delayed for some weeks and he's going to eventually have to face the music at some point. But you're right, it's been a very difficult year for the Queen with the loss of Prince Philip, Harry and Meghan, all this drama, and now obviously these horrific allegations that Prince Andrew is going to have to face at some point.
Oh, the poor Queen, James. She just doesn't have much luck with this family, does she? I mean, it's not just Harry and Meghan. Prince Charles is starting to get himself into strife. We'll come to that in a second. But we've saw Prince Andrew step away from royal duties after that disastrous BBC interview in 2019. James, what impact are these allegations going to have on the reputation of the royals and their standing? You know, they are our heads of state.
Well, that's not going to be great. And, you know, the fact is, Rita, these are not, and I don't want to prejudge any sort of case, the actions of an innocent man. You know, if these, you would think that if you wanted to clear your name in this sort of thing, you would be as absolutely forthright as you could be about facing up to, getting on the front foot and knocking back these charges. Now, all of this business about, you know, were the papers served properly, this, that, and the other thing, oh, I was off hunting in Scotland, whatever. This is about as bad a look as you can get in the American legal system. And I can tell you what, these civil cases versus criminal cases are very, very dangerous for people. You know, this is how they got O.J. Simpson. Now, I'm not saying he's O.J. Simpson, but the precedent is there. These civil cases are very, very dangerous. And one other thing I would add, too, is that I don't think that Prince Andrew should look to any leniency from the American Justice Department on any of this stuff either, because, you know, let's not forget that Joe Biden, while he is, you know, very self-proclaimed Irish Catholic, he's not a very good Catholic, but he is very, very Irish. And he has often proclaimed his sympathies for the Irish Republican cause. He is not a huge fan of the royal family. So, you know, you would think that the Justice Department would also be looking at this and thinking, you know, the orders will be here to go to pursue this case as absolutely hard as they can. I know it's a civil case, not a criminal one, but there's not going to be a lot of place for him to hide if he doesn't, you know, if this thing keeps dragging out, it's going to look worse and worse for him.
Yes, and we're now hearing allegations that Prince Charles has been selling, allegedly, access to Saudi businessmen and Russian bankers. And there's the suggestion that for donations to his charitable causes, he's offered access, and also the upkeep of a royal residence in Scotland is involved. So I'm sure we'll hear more about that story as the week progresses.